got a truck and I got guys. Yeah, I got so much free stuff like that. Do you understand? If you take that extra step. I mean, this is why I laugh at this thing, because people. Hey, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. There's going to be a link below to explain the book deal, the 3-book deal, because there's a whole bunch of questions, and instead of going over and over and over again, there will be another video. Actually, it won't be on YouTube, it'll be somewhere else, but the link's below. Anywho, back to the video. The title of this joint, The Best Unit I Lost My Ass On, A Tale of Redemption. You always hear about the great units, the wow factor, the wonderful stuff, all this thing. But there's times that you're going to buy a crappy, sad, stanky, messed up, janky ass unit. It's going to happen. It happened to me. It's going to happen to you. That's just part of the game. There are many people who are like, well, I don't want to buy a bad unit. So that fear of buying a bad unit actually matriculates into them not buying any units. So you're right. You win. You don't buy any bad units, but you don't really get any good ones because you're not buying anything. This happened to me like early in the game. And that first year you're in the storage auction business, it's going to test you because 1, you don't know what you're doing. 2, you have the veterans who are playing games with you. And 3, your money's kind of thin. So you got all this stuff going on. So it's not really that hard to understand why so many people go to the wayside. It is not. But I was just determined to make it happen. I was out there, snowball. He just ran me up on this unit. I mean, it was horrible. I got in that unit. I mean, I lifted up I'm actually getting ahead of myself. I only paid $400 for it. I know it's like, yeah, only $400. I only paid $400 for it. It looked good from the door. And one of the things that you learn when you get in this business is there's little things that loom large that you need to look for. And these little things are all over this unit. Actually, I learned quite a bit from buying this thing. Got the unit and I was like, yeah, I got me a good unit. Went in the office and paid. And at this time, I wasn't buying multiple units. So it was bam, bought the unit, run right out there, get into it because you want to see what you spent your money on. It just started off awful. Because there was a dresser right there, and I lifted up the dresser, and the top of the dresser just popped off. Then the side just fell on my knees. I was like, what the hell? Apparently they had damaged quite many of the things that were in the unit during the move, and the dresser was just totally jacked. And I just like popped it back in because I was like, well, maybe it just needs some glue. Maybe I can fix this, which ultimately I did. Because there was a bedroom set on it. This bedroom set, and there was other things. But essentially, I had to drag out the dresser, the 2 nightstands, the frame and everything, and do a lot of work only to make $200. I mean, it was really bad unit because, this was the time that I was just a straight hustler. I went in, I talked to the manager, and I said, look, this unit's horrible. I didn't go in there and go, you robbed me, No, I was like, I made a mistake. It was horrible. And I said, could you help me out? There's a lot of trash in there, and I noticed your dumpster's empty. And she said, go ahead. The guy's actually coming to dump it tomorrow, so perfect timing. Have at it. So, yeah, this is something. I don't know how it's going to work now, but I did that quite a bit. And you never know unless you ask. And I was just putting stuff in there, dumping stuff up in there, dumping stuff up in there. And I was out there on the property, and then I see this moving company like loading up stuff. And then there's this couple, this couple, and they're bickering. They're just going back and forth. It was great entertainment because I had pretty much felt that, the bedroom set was not great, okay? It was not great. At that time, I was going to get, not maybe half my money back, okay? Really half my money. Maybe a little bit more because when you factor in gas, time, effort, and all this stuff, it was not a win. So at this juncture, I had pretty much cleaned out the unit of all the trash, and there was very few things in there. So I'm just sitting there looking at these people, and the couple notices, they're like, this is entertaining you. And I said, extremely. Because, you know, when people fight in public, everyone watches and stuff. It was just me and the moving guys. And they were like, look, because the guy was like, we can't take it. It doesn't mean anything. And she's like, but I want it. And he's like, it's not going to be worth the money. And I'm just sitting there like, and I walked around and I saw what they were arguing about, because the moving truck was full and half that unit was still in there. And they were just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because they were going to New York. And he's like, look, I don't want to come back here and get this crap. Honestly. And he's like, you know, that guy's got a unit that's half empty. He's like, hey, buddy. I was like, yeah. He's like, this unit, this, you know, it was like probably the middle of the month. He said, this unit's paid for the end of the month. If you are a man of your word, you can have this stuff if you clean it out. It's like, for real? For real? For real? For real? And he's like, yeah. And the wife was like, it does make sense, because it's just regular stuff. And, you know, she just huffed in a huff, turned and went and got in the car. And the moving guy started, you know, locking up the truck and everything. And I was like, sure, I'll do that. And, you know, just to make sure everything was straight, we go to the leasing office, the, you know, service property leasing office, and we tell them what's up. And he's like, he has me sign. He's like, yeah, that unit is his. Bang, bang, we signed papers, transfer, on all that. So if it ain't cleaned out, it falls on his head. And we shook hands, and like that, he was gone. And I was like, couldn't hurt. So I go back, and I was like, wow. So I start, you know, hauling this stuff across the parking lot. I got like this little rickety dolly, and I'm putting this stuff in there. I'm like, shoot, this thing's paid for. I might as well move this stuff over there. And the manager comes out, and she's like, this is just your lucky day. Empty dumpster, people giving you shit. I was like, hey, you know, it's the life of a storage auction now, right? So, and we go into the unit, we're just looking.
And there's a washer and dryer. There's a 3-piece sofa set. There's all kinds of boxes of clothes and stuff. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. So, you know, she goes off because she's got manager stuff to do. And I'm in there and I'm just digging and digging and digging. And I find all these vintage clothes. And I see why he left it, because at that time, I wasn't really...
You know, my mind wasn't there, you know, because what the clothing that was left was all vintage. Apparently it was either his mother's stuff or her mother's stuff. Ding, 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 ding. So I'm going in there, and there's boxes and boxes. And if you are like in your late 30s or 40s, you remember, you see the pictures of your parents and those skirts that like really come out and like nice. I mean, really, her mother had some awesome stuff. Because, I mean, yeah, it was from the 40s, 50s, but it was very, very stylish. And I was like, okay. And then sofa set was like, it was okay, but I got $150 for that. Washer and dryer, I got $300 for that. Do the math. So essentially, those two items that were given to me actually paid for the junky ass unit that I lost and gave me a small profit. But hold on. So we're going, you know, going through the unit and everything, and talking to my partner and everything. My partner kept stuff because my partner was like 5'9" and 130, so she could wear any freaking thing she wanted. And she, you know, it was just really, really stylish stuff. I was just like happy, you know, sold the drip, what?
You know, sold the bedroom set and stuff. And a few months later, because, you know, went through the boxes, then I was just messing around on eBay, and it was one of those days I went to the auction, I didn't get anything, and I said, well, let me see what this stuff going for. And whoa, vintage clothing on eBay is a grip. I mean, understand, the stuff they gave me in terms of the furniture, it was just regular stuff, not big money. But the vintage clothing was a grip. Because I started looking at the stuff, and the thing is, you have to measure this stuff. And, you know, because they want all the sizes and everything. But one of the dresses out of that unit, which was a very simple dress in my mind, but it was, you know, quality, very quality. When you picked it up, you just felt the quality. That freaking dress went for $300. Shirts were going for $20, $30. I mean, when it was all said and done, about $6K.
Clothes alone. Now this is why it's a story of redemption. I bought this unit and I knew that I lost my ass off. But number one, I want you to listen to me. I did not start whining. Because this is what happens when you start whining. If I started whining, became despondent, just like close the door and just like, because at that juncture, I have seen people actually exit the storage auction business. They get a unit like that, they're like, I've been robbed. Next thing you know, they're out. They don't clean out the unit, and they actually just never come back out again. I actually took some steps. I asked for assistance, went to the manager. She allowed me to use the dumpster. And because I moved forward with that crap and actually said, okay, I got myself in the pickle, I need to get myself out. If I had taken the normal methodology, like I'll come back and do it later, whatever, I would have missed out on damn near $7,000. See, this is the thing about the storage auction business that many people don't understand, because, you know, all the internet and the blogs and the storage auctions, how to buy. There is another side to the business that comes from being in the business. When you're in this business, you get so many opportunities for other stuff, because when you buy a lot, you're always at a storage facility. And I have literally been driving my truck around, coming out after cleaning out a unit, and will see stuff. Because a lot of people, when they can't get everything on their truck, they leave it on the property. That's where these build-up units come from. So if you're always out there, I have scooped up sofas, washer and dryers, printing presses. So I have scooped up so much stuff for free. Let me go again. For free, that was on the property, because I was engaged in the storage auction. See, I'm trying to tell you something here, and I hope you're hearing it, because there's so many people who are like, I'm not going to go out there unless it's perfect. I'm not going to buy a unit. By buying bad units, I've actually learned something, and it opened up opportunities, because this is the thing about life. When you're in motion, you tend to attract things in motion. When you just stop and become stagnant, that's the rest of your life. So if I had just been like the regular person and just said, screw it, and just went on out there and just like, I hate this. This is just, I would have missed out on a lot of money. Dude literally gave me $7,000. He gave it to me. Now the $7,000 wasn't like cash money. It wasn't like, you know, all clean and sexy. I had to actually dig for it, but it was well worth the effort, because it was those wins like that in the beginning that just kept me going. Now, no one's ever told you that a lot of times when you're on property and you're cleaning, you're always pretty much going to encounter someone. You know, you see people, because I learned to start chatting people up, because it used to kind of irritate me. Like, I'm cleaning out a unit and people are like, hey buddy, I just walk up and like, hey, how you doing? You moving? And this is a big one for you. I've asked people like, hey, you got anything in there you don't want? You don't want to move? I got a truck and I got guys. Yeah, I got so much free stuff like that. Do you understand? If you take that extra step. I mean, this is why I laugh at this thing, because people are like, the storage auction business is simple. You buy low and you sell high, and that's the beginning and end of it. No, as Streck said, you know, there's layers. You know, it's like onions. There's layers and layers and layers. There's so many ways that you can make money and get money in this game if you are in this game and you're open to it, by just doing 10 to 15% more than the next guy. Not 100%, not 20%. Just, I was out there because, you know, a lot of times people on the property, they clean out their units, they load up their truck and they leave. I would do that, and sometimes I would scout around. Sometimes I would drive around the properties, because I know people leave stuff all the. Ask any storage manager how often do they have people just leaving shit on the property, and everyone else going to tell you all the time. I hate it. I hate it. Opportunity. You get it for free and you sell it. It's nothing but profit. So that's your friendly lesson today. And there's more of that stuff, because you got to ask questions. You have to be engaged. You have to be involved. But there's a lot of ways to make money in this business. All right, this is Glendon. We're making money with storage unit auctions.